Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Forge Gaming. I'm Troy, and I'm here with Judah.
How's it going, guys?
And this is another episode of 1v1, and today we are going to be talking about Nintendo.
I almost wanted to say the ugly stepchild of the console families, but not
stepchild.
ugly. But he is kind of the weird outcast one.
Okay, hold up. Nintendo's like the grandfather of consoles. Okay,
It's
been doing this longer than both Sony and Microsoft when they were coming to making games.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So we're talking Nintendo today. Last week, was it last week?
Last week.
Yeah, I think.
No, for us.
We talked. Anyway, so far we've talked about Sony and we've talked about Microsoft.
Yeah.
Also, Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Today is the day after Christmas.
The recording.
It'll go up tomorrow? Probably?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, so
tomorrow.
It'll
go tomorrow. I'm working tomorrow evening, so yeah, it'll go tomorrow.
Yeah. I always end up kicking myself later whenever I say a date of when it's going to come out. And then it comes out like a couple days later, and I'm like, I'm sure nobody will notice. But, yeah, so Nintendo, they've had a pretty big year.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe even bigger than Microsoft's. Yeah, he's ready to go.
Already.
Yeah, we were actually a few weeks ago we were debating on starting with Nintendo, but Troy hadn't bought the Nintendo Switch yet, and so we waited until one of us had some hands-on experience with it, and then we went ahead with it. So Troy, as far as just a general consensus, we'll get into opinions at the end, but general consensus of the year for Nintendo.
I think Nintendo had a very successful year. I think they totally killed it this year. Their console is not on the same power level as an Xbox or a PS4 or any type of PC, for that matter.
Yeah,
within the last 5 years.
It's not trying to be.
It's not trying to be. But the one thing that they've really been killing it with is the software. The games is where they're getting it.
And hardware.
Hardware. The hardware is amazing.
Yeah.
The Switch. We can talk about the Switch, man. I mean that's basically what we're talking about this year.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any other major news that happened throughout the year with Nintendo. I mean, the Wii U kind of got put on the back burner like as soon as the Switch got announced.
Yeah, just like the Vita. Yeah.
We're not talking about Sony.
I know.
We're not getting.
I just want to throw in that little jab
after that
little cheap shot.
Depressing GameStop trip today. If you really want an interesting treat, you can go back to probably a couple of years ago now, and we did an entire podcast about how much Troy hates Nintendo. So Troy's had a bit of a roller coaster ride with his opinions on Nintendo. He has a love-hate relationship with them, even though, correct me if I'm wrong, you own like every console they've made over like the last how many years? He got a 64 over here.
Got an NES.
NES.
I don't have the Super NES. I don't have the GameCube.
But he has how many Nintendo DSs are in the house?
Oh, 3.
3
DSs.
You get a Wii.
Got a Wii. Got a Wii U.
Got a Wii U, and now he's got a Switch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You should have some pretty good opinions on this.
Yeah. I mean, look, Nintendo is like near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
That's the reason why whenever they freaking cut out the Wii U. Yeah, betrayed me. It
hurt.
hurt.
You in the back.
It really, really hurt. But yeah, the Wii U is a thing of the past, and it's all about the Switch right now. And so this console, man, portable, and it's a home console. So home console and a portable console. You can take it on the go. You just freaking slide it on this crap, and it goes onto the TV screen.
Yeah.
That is just. It's what I wanted.
I want to say it's probably the most practical idea they've had for a console in a while.
Yeah.
The Wii U was.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. It did pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a nice try.
But it was a very, very narrow market that they seemed to be shooting for. Yeah. Troy, you would point out how you were not going to let your kids run around with a Wii U controller because it's like walking around with a tablet.
I know it's freaking.
It's like it
crazy.
It complicates things. The DS has been keeping Nintendo more than afloat for a good while now.
Yeah.
The Wii obviously was a huge success.
Yeah, the Wii was a huge success.
Still one of I think the second most sold console.
Yeah.
Second to the PS2, I think.
Freaking 2 of them in this house.
Yeah.
Everybody. If you're watching this video, you probably have a Nintendo Wii.
You're probably watching it on your Nintendo.
Yeah, you probably don't even play that thing anymore. Like, it's just sitting there, and like every now and then you have friends come over and they're like, "Hey, let's play Wii Sports." And you're like, yeah.
That's the thing, is that like you didn't even have to be a gamer, and everybody had a Wii. Everybody wanted to play Wii Sports, Just Dance, all those other games. And but yeah, after the Wii U came out, they made a lot of software mistakes with the Wii U as well.
Yeah,
with the games not being backwards compatible and stuff like that.
They are also doing the same thing with this. That is one of the minor. Okay, this is a big setback. This is not a minor setback. This is a big setback.
Do you hate them again?
Is that I don't hate them. I'm just thinking they're just money hungry, even whatever you want to call them. Because the Nintendo store, for some odd reason, everything that you bought on the Nintendo Wii and on the Wii U, all the retro games and stuff like that, did not transfer over to the Switch, which makes absolutely no sense to me. It doesn't even make sense. I don't know why they would do that. So they're, and also you got the they have their own network now or whatever, kind of like Xbox Live and Sony does.
Yes.
And so it's a pay for subscription thing, and it costs, I want to say it's $20 a year. I think it's 20. What are you looking at?
This is Nintendo's next idea. It's just a console that literally just prints money for you. I saw that the other day.
But yeah, so with that subscription, you get access to a bunch of games. Retro games. So it's seeming, not necessarily.
Yeah,
new
and
games
also,
or anything like that.
I'm really impressed with the fact that they're really broadening out their general. Usually they're pretty strict about what games go onto it, but the fact that you can get Doom, one of the most graphic and gory games that come out in the last few years, on the Nintendo Switch, Skyrim's on there, all these other games that nobody saw come on to Nintendo, and maybe they're kind of opening some doors with this.
Yeah, they are. They're opening some doors. I mean, the thing is that, and see, look, I can totally see them going after, because look, we know that Call of Duty that's PC, Xbox, Sony.
It was on the Wii U.
It was on the Wii U. Nah, garbage.
Yes, it was garbage.
Garbage on the Wii.
It was there.
It was there. Battlefield. We're not going to see Battlefield and Call of Duty. Probably not. They're probably not going to come to the Switch.
They don't. I think that's pretty far from what they want it to be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to get to whenever I get to my opinions.
I see them going after maybe some of the first-person shooters that aren't doing so well, that are like super hardcore competing with, with each other. I see them going after maybe the Titanfalls. You may not get Titanfall 3 or Titanfall 2 on there.
Halo?
But no, they're not getting Halo. but you may Respawn may make a certain type of Titanfall for them. It may not be on the same level or on the same grand scale or whatever, or maybe on that scale, but the graphics may be dumbed down.
I don't want them to get to a point to where they start making AAA games that are on every other console but significantly scaled down. Like, I want the games that are on the Switch to be made for the Switch and good quality to play on the Switch. Yeah. Like, I don't want Call of Duty but drop down to 30 frames per second and 720p. Just make games.
That's the reason why I think they shouldn't do Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And also, one thing that's going to help them a lot is them totally being open to multi-platforming gaming, like they did with Rocket League, like they're doing with Minecraft.
Look at you, Sony.
Yeah. Look, if it wasn't for the crossplay of Rocket League would be dead on the Switch. There would be hardly anybody
in general. I don't even know that. None of my friends that I see online even play Rocket League anymore.
Oh, I mean, there are more people that play Rocket League on PC than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. All the Rocket League players are all on PC. You have a few that are on Xbox and PlayStation, and you have probably the minority is the Switch. But the thing is that you combine all of them together because it's all multi-platform. And so you're on the Switch and you're playing against people on PC and you're playing against people on Xbox.
Right.
And so that works. And I feel like with them doing that, same with Minecraft. You're playing with people on PC and Xbox and on the Switch with that cross-platform play. And so I feel like if they continue to do that, that'll help them. Because the one problem that people have with games, especially like there are some games on the Vita that I know. I'm sorry I'm bringing this up. There's some games on the Vita where
you're gonna bring up the Vita twice in a Nintendo video.
Well, I'm trying to make a point. There are some games on the Vita, multiplayer games, where it was kind of hard to find matches because the community just wasn't really there.
Right, yeah.
There just wasn't enough people.
Yeah.
And whenever you have cross-platforming, you have more than enough people.
Yeah, it's not even just on the Vita. I mean, you can go try and play an old Call of Duty game. And like especially.
I mean, if you try to play like Call of Duty 3 or something like that.
I tried to play Ghosts again the other day on the Xbox One, which is the console that it was, primarily advertised on. Yeah. There was like, I don't know, 800 people online playing the game.
Nope. Nobody's playing Ghosts, man.
Nah.
There are more people playing Black Ops 2
I think we're the select people that actually liked Ghosts.
I like Ghosts. Yeah. It's good.
All right. Yeah. So here's
what
I
talked enough. Go ahead, make your point.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to argue anything. I agree with everything you're saying. Cool. Aside from the Vita's totally good, but
yeah, sure.
Still afloat. So what I can really appreciate about Nintendo is that it sounds bad, but it's almost like the developers over at Nintendo have been like living under a rock somewhere, and they're completely unaware of what a PS4 and an Xbox One even are. Like they're making a console not based on any sort of competition, like hardware and performance wise. They're not trying. I mean, you see PS4 and Xbox, Microsoft, Sony, whatever. They're constantly just duking it out. It's like, oh, well, you can do 4K. Oh, well, I can do 4K too. And then it's just gonna keep on, upping one another. And then Nintendo's over here playing in the sandbox over here, making something completely different. But it works. And I'll be honest. I'm really impressed, especially because after the Wii U was, I don't want to say it was a failure, but it definitely was underwhelming, I think, in the sales department.
Yeah.
I almost expected them to try and, join the ranks of Sony and Microsoft to try and get themselves back in the game, but they still stayed with their creative nature. They stayed with their completely unique style of games and controllers. I mean, this is something we've never seen anything like it before. Yeah. I mean, the fact that you can sit there on a couch and have one controller over here and the other controller over here and just play games, and, I don't know, like, it lived up to exactly what they said it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it did it well.
Yep.
So.
And look, software-wise, man, Mario Odyssey, I've been playing Zelda, which is incredible.
Skyrim for kids.
Skyrim for kids, basically. Skyrim within itself. Dude, they do the.
You bought Skyrim for it yet?
No, I'm not going to buy Skyrim for it. I've bought Skyrim so many times.
That's why I know you're gonna buy it.
I'll buy Skyrim for it when it's like $5.
It's $60.
Look, with Skyrim being on this totally opens the door for them. Next Elder Scrolls game.
Red Dead.
I don't know about Red Dead. That's 2K games. We're talking Bethesda. Because Skyrim's Bethesda.
Oh, I'm thinking of Rockstar.
Yeah, it's Rockstar. Sorry, Rockstar. But next Elder Scrolls game, may see it on the Switch right with release alongside with
Fallout 4 is not on it, is it?
Fallout 4 isn't on it.
No.
Can it do it? If it can do Skyrim, it can do Fallout.
Here's another thing: is if they, and I think we actually talked about this in a 1v1 recently, is, Nintendo's never, in my recent memory, had the branding rights to any major game that's come out that's not a Nintendo exclusive. Yeah. But if they can prove themselves with this, then they might just be looking at something like that. And that's how you push sales as well. Yeah. Is because people want the early content on it or whatever.
Now, I will say this. I think Nintendo has something up their sleeve. I think the Switch was a test. And I think they have a more powerful console that is just like the Switch. I think we're going to, in a year or two, I think we're going to see Switch 2.0.
The Switch X?
Whatever they want to call it. It'll probably be, I don't know if it'll be 4K, but it'll be 1080p. Games will be able to run 60 frames a second. And because look, they wanted to make it, they had to make it lower cost in order to be able to compete with everything else.
Sure. It also came out at a weird time.
It did come out at a weird time. So $300, reasonable price for this console, trying to compete with everything else, undercutting everybody. Sells really well. It's doing well. People bought into it now.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh wait, we want to. Okay, that was just a test. Now we want to start competing with Microsoft. Now we want to start competing with Sony. We want to make a console to where you can play Call of Duty on that console, and it's playable. No, you're not. You're probably not going to get 4K. We're gonna push it to its limits.
I don't think, like, because we were just talking about, or I guess I was just talking about how, they're not trying, like, they're in their own genre right now, and that's how Nintendo's always been.
Yeah,
Nintendo's always wanted to be their own thing. They're not trying to be, the fastest, most powerful console ever. They're trying to make a fun, unique console.
I will say this: the fact that they stopped trying to be one of the most powerful consoles out there, they've lost some deals.
Well,
and in part they gained some deals, but they lost some deals.
What about the Wii? I mean, that was one of the best-selling consoles ever, and it wasn't even close to being as powerful as a 360 or a PS3.
Okay,
I mean,
the biggest thing that Nintendo lost was Square Enix.
Yeah,
They lost that. They lost that because they refused to up their hardware to get to the point to where Square Enix wanted to be with their graphics in their games. Final Fantasy was a Nintendo exclusive for years. For years. And they lost that. And imagine all the other IPs that they could have had. Kingdom Hearts, that should have been a Nintendo exclusive. Batman, Arkham, should have been Nintendo exclusive. Those are all Square Enix games.
Now, let me ask you this, and I know we're probably going on a little bit long here, but I think it was last year, I don't think it was this year, that Nintendo started branching off into the mobile games.
Yeah.
Okay, and now there's quite a few Nintendo games on the marketplace, like in the iPhone store and all that stuff. How do you think? Do you think that will continue to progress like that?
I think so. I think
they'll
continue to push that. Yeah, I think they'll continue to push mobile games. I think I see them coming out with their own freaking Pokemon Go type Mario something AR game. They're definitely going to do something in AR. They will. And which brings me back to the point of me saying that they're going to make a Switch 2.0.
Switch 2.0 is going to have a built-in VR on the back of the Switch.
Not built-in VR, but it'll probably have a camera because the Switch doesn't even have a camera on it.
Doesn't have a camera?
It doesn't have a camera on it.
Did the Wii U have a camera on it?
I don't remember.
The DS did.
DS does. And see, the DS goes right in line with that. There's been so many freaking versions of the DS. They just keep pumping them out. And like, I feel like there's so much more that they can do with this thing. They're doing the same thing that Apple's doing with the iPhone, the same thing that Samsung's doing with the Galaxy.
Give it some time, though. I don't think they're gonna put
I
it
think
out quick.
I think
you look at how long the Xbox One was out before the S came out. I mean, they gave it some time.
I think 2 years.
Oh yeah, I mean that's reasonable.
I think 2 years.
That's reasonable.
2 years before we see Switch 2.0, or the Switch XL, or the Switch.
You're gonna have a third controller on the top of it.
No, I don't think they're gonna get away from the way that the hardware looks. I think they're just gonna add more stuff to it, and they're gonna make it probably slightly more powerful.
Probably slightly. That's the second week in a row that you've used that term.
Yeah.
Probably
slightly.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Doesn't
No,
sound
you said something different last week. I forget what it was. You said probably might be or something like that.
Probably might be. Might be probably.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I mean, like I said, the general consensus, they had a really big year. And I think that I don't know if they've released sales numbers yet, but I can't imagine it's anything less than what they expected. Especially because holidays just came around. I'm sure tons of kids got Switches and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Dang. Crap load.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. So, Troy, any closing thoughts?
No, that's all I got, man. Just hoping looking forward to 2018, seeing what the gaming world's going to bring to us. Excited about a ton of games, and we can talk about that probably in our next video. We'll talk about what we're excited about for 2018.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully before the year is actually over. But if we do it right after the new year, it's not the end of the world. But basically, again, I don't want to.
Y2K.
Huh?
Y2K. It's not the end of the world. New Year.
Oh gosh.
2018.
Yeah, we're gonna talk in the next video. Just
Nostradamus said it.
We're gonna talk in the next video about just kind of what our expectations and what our hopes are for 2018 in the gaming industry, and just kind of moving on from there. So, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe for a whole lot more every day. Let us know what you think in the comment section, and we will see you guys online.
Later, guys.
Did you know that at one point in time, Nintendo was developing a Halo game for the Nintendo DS? IGN did a video on it probably 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube still, and it was a Halo game. They were playing on a Halo 2 map, and they were like dual wielding 2 SMGs on it, and it got like discontinued, never got finished. Okay, but the fact that that was ever being made still to this day baffles me, because through some form of wizardry, Nintendo got some sort of permission to make a Halo game on their handheld console. Unless somebody modded it, which I guess is a possibility, but IGN was acting like it was in production at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Something weird going on there.
Oh, man. Dude, Final Fantasy went from being Nintendo exclusive to like just not coming out on Nintendo at all.
Yeah, just dropped them
That's
like
crazy, dude.
Dropped them like they're dead.
That's like their... I mean, they have so many other RPG games on the Nintendo and all the freaking JRP games, the Japanese ones or whatever. You know, but, dude, Final Fantasy is the RPG game.
Yeah, I know. And that's why Nintendo gained from it for so long by having that in their pocket the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Got nothing in my pockets.